Tanya, thank you very much, and thank you very much for inviting us here this evening. I have to say, a wise man once said to me, you never want to follow a magician and a pregnant lady. And then before Sunita as well. But we'll do what we can, and hopefully we can just give some personal examples of seeing the programs that have just been described to you from my 2 recent trips. So I can't actually see the slides, but if you could put the first one up. I've kind of divided the presentation. We were given exactly 7 minutes, so don't worry, we're not going to be going on at you for long. But there's basically 4 chunks. The pictures I just wanted to show you because I love them. The trip I did, the leadership trip in 2014, which was to Calcutta, the Sundarbans, and Jamshedpur. And then the most recent trip that I did about 3 weeks ago, where we were in Maharashtra and Gujarat. And then Amy is going to talk about her experience on the inaugural Youth Ambassador Program. So I made no excuse for the first 4 or 5 pictures, I just loved them. So this guy greeted us when we were in the Sundarbans. I have 4 daughters, and so the tenacity of this young lady impressed me. On the next one, I have a picture from when I was in Turkey about 30 years ago, a little boy dragging a kettle with a smile on his face. And this just reminded me of it. It's kind of in the dirt outside the train station in Calcutta. Well, not that one, that's a goat, but the next one is, there we go, these 2, perhaps you could go back one, please, but the, or you can go on as you prefer. So we're going to stop on that one. So this is, I think there's one slide. We live in Silicon Valley, so we're really good on tech. One of the presentations, the slides don't do, and the other one they do. Okay, this is the right one. So these are one of the main reasons I'm involved. We were sitting looking at the Mansi program, and it was complete chaos, because I was playing with these kids on their way home from school. They live in an area where there are 80% of the families are below the poverty line. And look how smartly dressed they are, and look how much fun they're having interrupting our presentation. So it's just great. And then this is the scene. Well, I kind of got 2 pictures, hopefully, one after the other. But these are families kind of living outside one of the train stations in Calcutta. And then the next one, that worked really well, I think, noticed. That's the most expensive house in the world, in the middle of Mumbai. So if we can move on to the actual AIF stuff, that would be good, but that was my indulgence. So Mehdia Bruce is a Muslim ghetto within a very poor area of Calcutta, and that is the scene very close to one of the AIF projects, which involves Mars. The next picture is a scene even closer to where we were going. So we had no idea. We had to battle through traffic to get there. And then we went up some rickety stairs, and at the top of it we saw, we're getting really good at this bit. We should do this again. So this, as you can see, is a bunch of the girls who are being trained on computers. And first of all, they get trained by MAST as to how to use the technology and how to apply for a job. And then on the next screen, you'll see a similar picture, but these are girls who've actually migrated into a program run by one of the AIF Alliance partners. And this is an unbelievable woman who used to run HP in India, and she wanders around America, mainly universities, getting work, helping them digitize their information. And then the kids in Mehdia Bruce digitize the information. The girls are not allowed to leave Mehdia Bruce, their parents won't let them go, and within about a month of starting this program, they're earning more than their fathers. So it's having and the fathers and families are very, very supportive of the girls doing this work because they're in a safe environment and the jobs are being taken to them rather than taking them out of their comfort zones. And this is on the wall of their office, and I thought it was great because it could be on the wall of any office in America. So that was that, and then we went off to see the MATSI program, which was described earlier by Tanya. And so we sat around with the lady on the left is the Saia, who's the local village woman, often only has a middle school education, who's given $25 worth of kit and manages to massively reduce the infant mortality in the villages that they work. And the next slide is a mum who I think is about 15 of twins, and she's just demonstrating life with one of her healthy twins. So at that point, I'll turn it over to Amy.
Hi, I'm here to speak to you more. Yeah, go ahead. I'm here to speak to you more about my experience on the ground in India. This past summer, I traveled with the AIF Youth Ambassador Program into the heart of Bangalore and then into the suburbs around Bangalore. So, in the first slide. So this is a picture that was taken, obviously. These are some of the most elite students in all of India, and they were bused in to Mysore and into the Infosys campus, where we had a debate on American versus Indian democracies and how it's changed over the past 100 years. And these are some of the most intelligent students I've come across. I go to a very competitive high school in the Bay Area, and these 11 and 12-year-olds were outsmarting us in 5 seconds. And they're so dedicated to their schoolwork, and the passion that they showed us really inspired all of us when we got back to school to just keep pushing forward. And they have so much drive to go so much further than the schools that they're in right now. So on the next slide, this is going from some of the most elite students. This is one of the poorest schools that we visited. It's a government-run school, and these children don't know what technology is. They've never seen it. Have never come across it in all of their lives. When we got to the school, we were asked to take. Can you go back one second? When we got to the school, we were asked to take pictures for a project that we were working on with the AIF Youth Ambassador Program. And as I pulled out my phone, it was very clear immediately that these children have never come across this, and they were fascinated with our cameras and wanted to take pictures of everything. When we turned it and put it on our front-facing cameras, they were more fascinated, and my camera roll is filled with hundreds and hundreds of selfies that they were taking. But honestly, it was so inspiring to see them come across this, and definitely a great thing that we got to do. On the next slide, this is at the same school, and for all of us, this has to be one of the favorite pictures that we took on this entire trip. This young boy, I think he was 4 or 5, was this was him learning the alphabet, and these were stones that he was sent out to collect right outside of his classroom with chalk that he made himself. And he would draw the chalk out, trace the stones over it, wash away the chalk and wash away the stones, and do it over and over and over again. He wasn't distracted at all by the cameras. He was 100% focused on this. And it was amazing and very inspiring to see. And on the next slide, lastly, the hospitality we were shown was unlike anything I've experienced in my entire life. When we were visiting one of these schools, Rishi Valley River School, the community knew that we were coming in. There were 20 of us, 2 students joined us from Mumbai, and 18 of us coming in from the US. And this village, for 3 days, all of their income comes from milking cows and from the milk that they produce and sell. And for 3 days, they collected all of their milk just to make it for chai and coffee for all of us. And multiple of us were moved to tears just by seeing the number of people that had come to visit and had given so much of their income for us. And the hospitality that was shown to us and to AIF in general was truly amazing. So if any of you are thinking about sending your children, I 100% encourage it, and I'm more than willing to talk to you about it after this.
Hi everyone, I'm Radhika. I'm going to be translating for Sunita.
Good evening and namaste. मेरा नाम सुनीता है और मैं भारत के गुजरात राज्य के कच्छ जिले से हूँ और मैं यहाँ आप सबसे मिलके बहुत बहुत खुश हूँ और थोड़ी सी नर्वस हूँ.
Hi everyone, my name is Sunita. I've come from Kutch, a village in Gujarat. I'm so happy to be here, but also a little nervous.
मेरी 6 बहनें हैं और एक भाई है और हम लोग कुछ सालों पहले मेरे मम्मी पापा के साथ, मेरे दादा दादी के साथ हम लोग सॉल्ट में काम करने के लिए जाते थे और वहाँ पे हम एक छोटी सी झोपड़ी बना के रहते थे और वहाँ पे हमें जमीन पर सोना पड़ता था और वहाँ पे पूरे दिन धूप रहती थी।
I have 6 sisters and 1 brother. Up until a few years ago, we used to go to the salt plains with my mother, father, and grandparents. There, my life was completely different. We made ourselves a small hut and lived there, and we had to sleep on the floor.
वहाँ पे सबसे बड़ी समस्या पानी की थी और वहाँ हमें पानी लेने के लिए बहुत दूर तक जाना पड़ता था। वहाँ के लोग हफ्ते में 1-2 बार ही नहा पाते थे। वहाँ के लोगों को काफ़ी गंदे कपड़े पहनने पड़ते थे और वहाँ पे हम बच्चे लोग तो पूरे दिन सॉल्ट के पानी में ही खेलते रहते थे और